Hey everyone, welcome back to the Gentleman's World. Today I want to share with you what self-improvement looks like for me on a daily basis. Let's start off by saying that it's not about radical overnight changes, but about small, consistent actions. So here's how I work on myself every day, from staying active to taking some me time. Let's dive in. First up, let's start with exercise. For me, exercise has been a non-negotiable since 4 years old, basically. Whether it was with martial arts, playing football, or even going to the gym at the age of 16 years old, that's when my journey with fitness and wellness started. In my personal case, fitness and going to the gym has been a 50-50. Half of it has been basically for getting the results and the physical appearance of it, looking myself in the mirror and saying that's a good looking man. And the other half of it has been, of course, for general wellness and the health results that I hope to get in order to live longer. Hopefully. Now in your case, it might not be about getting that perfect body, but about feeling energized and clear-minded. I personally start most of my mornings by going to the gym and getting some movement. I also know that I'd like to get some more like stretching and mobility exercises before I do my workout, and probably also after. But in the limited time that I have in the mornings, then that becomes a little bit difficult sometimes. But at least I know that I will be getting my main workout of the day, doing some weight training and not missing the gym. Maybe later, after I come back from work or other stuff, then I can do some stretching or mobility exercises. And maybe even some ab exercises that I may have not been able to do in the morning. In my case, I always try to get at least 1 hour of exercise in the morning, but it doesn't really have to be like that. In your case, it could be from 20 to 30 minutes. As long as you feel good, you get some movement in and you're ready to start the day. It's overall amazing how a little movement can set the tone for everything else. Now onto one of my main activities, learning. Every day, I dedicate some time to studying or expanding my knowledge in a way or other. Whether it is reading a book, listening to a podcast, or taking an online course, I love to stay curious and keep my mind sharp. It basically keeps me grinded on my goals and also makes me realize that there's so much room for growth. And I don't mean this to brag or to tell you, oh, I'm such a nerd, I'm learning this and that every day. No, but it's actually true. And lately in my life, it has been even more the case, because I go to work and I work at a bank where a course is given in order for me to level up and go to the next level, right? Go to the next position. So over there I'm taking the financial mutual funds course, and then I come home and I decided to take on a personal training course because I love fitness and I like to maybe do personal training as my side gig, as my second job. And then another thing that I'm also learning, because I'm very passionate about, is marketing, digital marketing, and all this content creation world, social media. So overall, I think I'm always like a little bit hungry for knowledge, and most of all, like I'm very curious. So I like to learn a little bit about fashion. I like to learn a little bit about exercise. I like to learn about money, about business. And all those stuff get together and I'm like, oh, I want to do all of this at the same time. But sometimes it just gets a little bit out of control. And that's where I hit the point of I need to focus on one specific thing. Now, lately, that specific thing has been the third point, which is learning a language. So yes, besides all these online courses and other knowledge that I'm trying to get at the same time, I mostly focus mainly in learning a language. And that is because of my personal reasons. On one side, because one day I'd like to go to France, for instance, and be able to speak French to all the people around me, to the locals. You know, I live in Canada, so I know the second language here is French. So maybe I go one day to Quebec or somewhere else where they speak French. And I'm like, oh, this is one of the main languages that I want to be learning. So that is why I took the decision to basically start learning this third language of mine. But the main reason I highlight learning a language as a self-improvement method is because learning a language will always help you to open new doors. It will give you opportunities that you didn't have before, just like applying to new jobs, getting some side gigs where you will be able to teach or understand the other person in some way or the other. You will be able to fluently communicate with those in the other side, and that basically opens new doors, whether it is in business, in social, in whatever circle you are in. I started to learn some French a little bit over a year now. It has been a slow process in my case, but at the same time it's been helpful for me to understand more about I don't know, like the TV shows or some people that I get to know here in Canada, since there's a lot of diversity among other situations. I like to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes watching some videos or listening to French music or doing some practicing lessons or I don't know, listening to some podcasts, etc. Yes, it is challenging sometimes, but at the same time rewarding. And for me, it's not about the language, not about the specific skill that I'm obtaining, but also about embracing new cultures. As I mentioned, one of my main goals and even childhood dreams has been to go to Paris and deep dive into the culture, deep dive into whatever, you know, bakeries, fashion, etc. world they have. Now, another big one is to have a solid daily routine. This basically keeps me on track and at the same time focus on my priorities. Most of my days I have a to-do list where I keep track of my activities and the ones that have the most priority. That way I know that at least the first 3 ones are the ones that I'm gonna accomplish that specific day. In your case, if you like to journal, for instance, if you like to write a little bit of stuff on your notebook, on your notepad, on your computer, on your phone, then I recommend you do a little bit of a journal entry so that you also keep track of it and your activities and your priorities each and every day. Knowing what your day will look like will help you to manage your time properly and most of all, leave you some energy to what actually matters. And last, but definitely not least, is that I make sure that I get some time for myself and the loved ones around me. Whether it is watching a movie, a TV show, going for some good food at a restaurant, or just spending some quality time with my girlfriend, then I know that I need that downtime to recharge and focus better in my next day priorities. I think it's easy to think that self-improvement, it's all about productivity. But taking a moment for myself also reminds me that all the other parts are puzzle piece of my journey as well. A piece that I also want to cover, a piece that I also want to focus on because I also care about my mental well-being, my happiness, my overall enjoyment of life. Yes, we want to be full on all the time. We sometimes tend to have 100% of our days in order to work, but we also need that downtime because at the end of the day, we're human beings. So that's a look at how I practice self-improvement on a daily basis. It's all about balance. Some movement, some structure, some learning, and some time to unwind. What about you? How do you work on yourself every day? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and if you're in a self-improvement journey too, then let's grow together. Subscribe and see you next time.